Hey everybody. This has been so long since I have actually done an acrylic pour. I'm actually kind of nervous. I've done 700 videos, but I have not done any acrylic pours in the last couple of months to really speak of. Traditional acrylic pouring. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed it works well. I'm trying out CHALKOla acrylic paints, 32 colors, 22 milliliter or 0.74 ounce tubes, and they graciously sent me this product to try out, and I'm going to try it out. I'm using Owatrol Easy Flow as my medium. It is water-based paint conditioner. It's like Floetrol, but it's the European version. You can get it on Amazon or from Owatrol's website or store in Florida. So I'm going to work on a 12-inch square canvas, and I'm just going to do a dirty pour or something along those lines. I kind of want to do a tree ring pour, but I'm just not sure about the colors because as you see the difference, I don't know if it's the Owatrol, it probably is, that made the paint lighter when I put it into the paint. I probably squeezed out about 1/4 of a teaspoon of paint into each of these cups. I still have this one left to mix so that you can see. I started out with a little bit, but I need, at least 8 to 10 ounces of paint to have what I want it for. So I'm going to put another little squeeze of, this is violet. And I basically have got about 2.5 ounces of Owatrol in each cup. And then I add water because Owatrol is very thick. It's actually thicker than Floetrol. And so it does lighten the color a little bit, but I think, when it dries, it's going to dry deeper in color, more true to what's on the tubes of paint that's pictured. So this is violet. And as I'm mixing, I'll tell you the other colors: ultramarine violet, ultramarine blue, viridian green, crimson red, lemon yellow. That's Indian yellow, which is, they didn't have an orange in the box, so that's the closest to orange. It looks orange on the tube, but it's really more golden, so I added a bit of red to it to get the orange. And again, I've mixed about 2 to 2.5 ounces of Owatrol to that, maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of paint. It could be less because usually tube paints are so much more vivid than, like craft bottle paints, that you can get by with less tube paint to the Owatrol, or if you're in US, Floetrol, that kind of thing. Okay. So these are the colors I'm using. Put these aside. And I do have a little bit of metallic gold. It came out of the tube really pale, and so I just decided I didn't want a lot, if any of that really. And then I'm going to use my go-to OGX coconut milk anti-breakage hair serum. I've had this bottle for probably 2 years. It just really goes a long way. I put it into a little dropper bottle, and the reason I do that is because you only really need 1 drop of this per color. So I'm just going to put 1 drop. If 2 come out, that's okay. It doesn't really matter. You just don't need a ton of it like you do with silicone. Silicone, you put 4 or 5 drops or more into your cups. Well, you don't need that with OGX. OGX is way stronger. I think it makes big juicy cells. So I'm just stirring the OGX in really quick. I'm tongue-tied. But yeah, the colors look different from the tube, and what came out of the tube. So I think it's the Owatrol. And as usual, I will always show a dried picture at the end of the video. because I don't want you to see results that are not accurate. So I do mix my sticks into different colors, but I don't go with the posing colors, which will muddy up your paint. So just keep that in mind. This was the ultramarine violet, which looks so pale, and I really wanted vibrant color, so I didn't mix any more of that than that color there that's in there. This one I've added the Owatrol to, and I've got water with the little Owatrol mixed into it. That's why it comes out milky looking. Maybe 10% Owatrol to 90% water. And you add that until you get it to the consistency of warm honey or melted ice cream. So you want it to land on your surface of your paint, you know, kind of like a little mound that just dissipates pretty quickly, but it's a steady stream. It's not drippy. If it's drippy, then you've got too much water in it. It's better to do it in little squirts of water. Okay, so I've got a 9-ounce cup, and a 12-inch painting requires, you know, 7 ounces or so to cover the sides. So I want to, you know, not fully close this, you know, cup up with color, but pretty close. And then I've got a bunch of white. I usually use Artist Loft white flow acrylic because I use, you know, so much more white than I do any other color. So I'm going to start out the cup with basically just wetting the bottom of the cup with the white, and that's it. And I've thought about, you know, do I want to pour this in layers, or do I want to let it dive in and mix, which, you know, you sometimes get the chance of muddied colors. I also have a little tiny, it's a bike or motorcycle license plate, but I'm going to hold off and make sure I have enough of the colors for my big canvas, and then we'll do that next. But yeah, it's 32 colors, and I've chosen like 7 of the colors. So orange is always super strong, and so is green, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. I didn't want as much orange. I think I'm just going to go in the order that they would be in a rainbow. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Yellow can do some weird stuff too, so but that's why I'm putting the green against the yellow. Okay, I'll go ahead and throw in that gold, even though it's really thick. I should have added some more water to it. And I'll let some white drop in, and then I'll go back through my colors. Don't see a whole lot of cell action, which is kind of unusual. Ooh. The one I could knock over is orange because it's my least favorite anyway. I have butcher paper on the table here, and before I do my pour, I'm going to put a puppy pad down just so that I can save the butcher paper as long as possible. So let me finish. I did mix some black up, and I'll put a little black in. Got push pins in the bottom of my canvas. So you can pour it, you can fling it, you can flip it over. I'm going to do the traditional way that I like to do it in paint classes when I do have classes, is flip the cup that way. Then I like to poke a hole or two, and that releases the paint. And there you have it. So I'm going to put this aside. That's with OGX, I just put it aside and I wait 5 or 10 minutes before I stretch it because these cells grow on their own. So now I'm going to do pretty much the same thing in a small cup for this license plate. So I'm going to put I used to use Owatrol like crazy as well because I love it, and they're very gracious to send me product to show you. Leery of it because the colors are a little bit lighter, but they will dry darker like as any color does, so I'm not going to worry about that really. So now I've got this is like a heat gun, but it's a lower heat gun than like a regular one, which I do have. So you're basically just popping air bubbles. So I'm going to try to slowly tilt, and I may fast forward this part. It may look faster, but I'm going to try to keep the cells from getting too, long and wonky looking. So I'm going to take some paint that's starting to drip off and put it up here so that the paint glides over the corner easier, because I don't want to lose that color right there. That's probably my most favorite corner, but I've pretty much lost it. The red is super strong. So again, this will muddy up as soon as you touch it, but in order to have your paint flow over the edge, it just helps it flow a little better. I used to start with white, but if you put the right amount of paint on your canvas, use that chart. I have a chart in my Facebook group, and you can email me if you're not in my Facebook group, and I can send you the chart that tells you how much paint to use, for your square inches of canvas. Okay, so those are the muddy corners, and I'm going to stretch over the corner on these. Okay, so people talk about not getting cells. Well, these cells are huge, and they're huge because of the OGX. The OGX always makes really big cells. To me, the colors are deepening and getting a little muddy looking. But I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer. I'm going to wait until it's dried, to make sure that it's what I want it to be. So there was black right there. So that was kind of a bad spot to pick because the black is under there. That's so funny, the little bit of black that I have was right there. I love the purple color though. I was trying to. You know, you gotta make ugly sometimes. You just really do. It kind of helps you get recentered and focused on how you used to do things. I haven't done pores in so long that it's just not coming naturally to me. So I'm just going to leave it. And this might be one of those pores that I totally paint something over and leave it as the background. I'm not going to keep messing with it except for that edge was a little bit hard. So the colors are becoming more vibrant as they sit. So, you know, because they looked paler in the cup, it kind of scared me a bit. It's a little leery of it. I am going to heat it just all over really quick. I'm not a green fan, but phthalo green is always so, it just always really pops. So just kind of bringing that out there. Bringing out some white here for some lacing. It's pretty colorful. I'll leave it as is and do my little license plate. So there it is. It's, you know, it's got a little bit of everything. The orange didn't show up a lot, which is good. And the blue was pretty non-prevalent in this one. It's got a plastic coating on this side, and then it's metal on this side, and I got a little batch of them on eBay to pour on. I just thought they'd be cool. Maybe resin them, maybe do a word on them, who knows. This is way more than enough paint for this. So there's traveling tree rings. You pour them in the center. Of course, this has OGX, so there'll be cells. Add some more of this reddish purple color. I did tape underneath the slots on this one. So that the paint didn't go through the holes. This one I don't have taped. Let me add some tape really quick. A piece of tape just to keep the paint from totally pouring through. They kind of look like cell phones when you pour on them. That's the funny part. So So this one's pretty cool looking. I like the patterns. This one has a little bit too much greenish. I think I'm going to do a little ribbon through it. So it doesn't look so Christmassy. Like I said, that Viridian green is really super strong. This paper is super lightweight, so it didn't put a lot of pressure. So I'll just tilt off where it didn't swipe. I think these were the back of like contact paper or something that had a peel off. Backing on it. Well, that is just plain old ugly. Can't beat it, join it, right? Well, that looks happier. Get some of that ugly color off the end there, and then tilt this way a little bit where it didn't swipe. Get that color to move over. Move over. Reminds me of the monkeys jumping in the bed. Move over. I like it better that way. This one is pretty cool. I'll just leave that one as is. And no wonder you can't even see what I'm talking about, huh? See if I can drop one on the other. Now you can see it. Because I have it zoomed in. You couldn't like see it. So I'm going to turn the orange cup over here, and I'm going to pour one more. Tape the plastic side, which has peel off plastic. So that's nice that you don't have to really worry about the back side of it. Okay. So now what we got left in here, we'll just we'll just do this. So what paint I have left over, I'm just putting in a cup. I'll pour it right there on my puppy pad. That changed the look of it. It brought that yellow out, didn't it? And then you can kind of, you can kind of move your pad around a little bit to stretch it out, but you don't want to do it too much. So I'll just leave that little puddle. And that might be some good drips, including what's left on my puppy pad here that dries. I can see what I have left to possibly make jewelry later on. Because that's what I try to do with my leftover paints that are left on a puppy pad, is just make skins from the dried paint. And I'll let these dry. So that was CHALKOLA, and I will wait until everything is totally dry and show you the finished dried pieces at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is so weird to like do pours after not doing it for a while, because you totally doubt your choices. And I think that's pretty common for new beginners with acrylic pouring. So it can be true for you even when you've been doing it for like almost 3 years like I have. So don't always doubt yourself. You know, sometimes it's the nature of the beast. But I will show you the end pictures, and I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did, please. Please subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. I offer a wide variety of art, and if you subscribe, click on the bell on the bottom right. You'll get a notification every time I post a new video. I have a couple of Facebook groups that I'm part of. I have one that has over 10,000 people, where people come from YouTube land, come over to my Facebook group, and they can share pictures, and we can converse and everything over on Facebook, because it's hard to do here on YouTube. And I also have my website and my Thinkific platform, where I teach traditional acrylic painting with paintbrushes. I've been painting for over 20 years. So check that out, and I've got an Etsy shop with some stuff in it. So go take a look, and I'll see you on the next video. Hugs, everybody. Bye-bye.